I'd like to share some exciting news at Lone Star Capital. We've recently brought on two new asset managers to join the team. This is a super important addition to the team because we are investing heavily into the property management and asset management parts of our business. And as I've now stepped in as the COO and I'm overseeing the asset management team directly as well as the property management team, it's great to have some additional firepower on the team. Something that we have as a vision for our properties and for our company is to be innovative in the property management space. And one of our innovations is to eliminate layers of bureaucracy and middle management. And what we're doing is our asset managers are working directly with our property level teams. So our on-site teams, which are usually comprised of a community manager, a maintenance supervisor, assistant, leasing agent, maintenance, assistant maintenance, make ready, porter, you've got your whole team on site. That's like a little company in itself. And then the community manager on site is basically the CEO of that business. And in an ordinary circumstance, you would have the on-site teams report to a regional manager, and the regional manager would have a vice president that oversees them. And then the asset management team on the ownership side would then work with the regional manager and the VP, one or the other or both, to make sure the business plan is going well, make sure the numbers, the reporting, and kind of do Excel and PowerPoint. Our vision is innovative because we're removing both the regional and the VP layer from the organization, and we're kind of just collapsing things, and we're treating our company as one company. So it's not ownership and management, it's just one company. We are owners and operators of multifamily. In order for this vision to be successful, we need two things to be true. Firstly, we need our on-site teams to be rock stars, best in class, and supremely competent so that they can be more self-sufficient than what you typically would see from an on-site team. Second, since the asset managers are going to be working directly with the on-site teams and there's no layer in between, the asset managers can't just be good at Excel, good at PowerPoint, and good with numbers. They need to be in the nitty-gritty of property management, and they need to know how to work with these teams, how to hire and fire and train and really manage these mini businesses. One of the things that is very interesting, kind of an oddity in our business, is you have these 40, 50, $60 million properties, but they're not properties, they're businesses. They just so happen to be attached to a property, right? You're operating a business. And a community manager can make as little as $60,000 salary, and they're the CEO of that business. Where else can you imagine or see a $60,000 salaried person overseeing a $50 million value business? Right? That's just, it's a broken system and it's not the way it should be. So there needs to be more competency, higher pay for the on-site team so that they can really be successful on the ground, think for themselves, and be the quick acting, solution-oriented team that needs to be there on the front line. And at the same time, our asset managers need to have the skill set to hire those A players, make sure that the team is functioning well, and make sure that the day-to-day of property management is being fulfilled, and we're empowering our teams to be able to actually operate the property smoothly and to be able to implement our business plan from a CapEx standpoint. Similar to this collapsing and removing the bureaucracy, when it comes to our business plans and it comes to our CapEx programs, our asset managers are also going to be the ones that are driving the business plan forward, working more closely with our acquisitions team to make sure that there's a strong connection between underwriting and implementing the business plan. Because far too often you see companies, they have their acquisitions team underwrite the deal, put the business plan together, and then the deal closes and they hand the deal over to the asset management team, and it's like they're starting from scratch. There might not be a good handoff as far as what the business plan is, what are the goals with this deal, and is the budget reasonable, right? Because if it's siloed, then the acquisitions team is going to put together a budget, and then the asset management team is going to say, well, they're going to take over the budget, and they might not be right. So instead, if acquisitions and asset management work together hand in glove, then from before we even close the deal, we are hitting the ground running with a cohesive strategy. Everyone's on the same page, and we have more accurate numbers, so we're more confident behind our investment decisions. As the portfolio grows, it's important that we grow with it. And that's why we're really excited to be bringing on, like I said, 2 new asset managers here. And I'm sure there's going to be more soon because, unfortunately, when it comes to property management, you have to kind of scale linearly and make sure that the team is there in order to be able to oversee the properties. In an ordinary company, kind of the status quo, like I said, you would have the on-site teams overseen by regionals and then VPs. And so the asset manager is kind of just at a very high level overseeing things. And an asset manager is capable of perhaps overseeing 10, perhaps even 20 properties. But in our structure, where the asset managers are really hands-on, we have to make sure that the asset managers actually have the bandwidth to be hands-on to handle the transaction process and to handle their own portfolio. So we want to make sure that those individual portfolios for each asset manager stays tight-knit and so that they have all the time they need to really pour their heart and soul into making sure each property performs to its highest potential.